Max Verstappen claimed his second win of the 2025 season at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The Dutch driver overtook Oscar Piastri on the opening lap and led the remainder of the race. Piastri's three-race win streak ended as Verstappen extended his dominance at Imola, securing his fourth straight victory at the circuit. Norris in pursuit. Verstappen created a gap of over a second by lap 5, putting himself out of DRS range. By lap 13, the gap had extended to nearly 3 seconds. Piastri was the first of the front runners to pit, switching to hard tires. The Australian rejoined in traffic behind Bahrain, Tsunoda, and Hamilton. The slow 3.6-second pit stop and congested midfield delayed his recovery. Norris and Verstappen remained on track, extending their stints to open strategic options. Lewis Hamilton, starting 12th, opted for a long first stint on hard tires. His pace improved after lap 20 as Ferrari positioned him for a late charge. Charles Leclerc, who had started lower, gained places by undercutting rivals, pitting earlier than both McLarens. Esteban Ocon stopped on lap 29, triggering a virtual safety car. Verstappen pitted immediately and retained his lead, rejoining almost 20 seconds ahead of Norris. Several others, including Norris, also made their stops. Piastri took advantage to stop a second time, switching to fresh mediums. A full safety car was deployed on lap 46 after Kimi Antonelli pulled off due to mechanical issues. Verstappen and Norris both pitted again. Piastri did not, maintaining track position but with older tires. Norris rejoined behind Piastri. Verstappen managed the restart cleanly at the end of lap 53. He quickly built a gap. Norris, on fresher rubber, began to challenge Piastri and overtook his teammate on lap 58. Piastri then held off Hamilton, who had moved into fourth with strong pace on his second stint. Hamilton passed Leclerc and Albon late in the race. Albon had briefly overtaken Leclerc, but was forced off track. Ferrari instructed Leclerc to yield position back to avoid potential penalties. Final top 10 standings are: Max Verstappen first, Lando Norris second, Oscar Piastri third, Lewis Hamilton fourth, Alexander Albon fifth, Charles Leclerc sixth, George Russell seventh, Carlos Sainz Jr. eighth, Isaac Hadjar ninth, and Yuki Tsunoda at 10th position. Fernando Alonso finished 11th. Nico Hülkenberg followed in 12th. Pierre Gasly came home in 13th for Alpine. Liam Lawson and Lance Stroll completed the top 15. Franco Colapinto, Oliver Bearman, and Gabriel Bortolito finished 16th through 18th. Antonelli and Ocon retired from the race. Piastri retained the championship lead with 146 points. Norris moved to second on 133. Verstappen, now on 124, reduced his gap to the top. Pre-race developments included Colapinto receiving a one-place grid penalty due to a pit lane infraction during qualifying. Tsunoda started from the pit lane after Red Bull repaired his car post-qualifying crash. Most drivers started on medium tires, with Hamilton, Antonelli, Bearman, Hülkenberg, and Tsunoda opting for hards. At lights out, Piastri launched cleanly. Verstappen, despite an average start, used the outside line to overtake at turn 2. Russell initially challenged but was boxed in by Piastri's line. Leclerc gained early places, while Hamilton began moving through the midfield. Norris fought Russell for third and succeeded on lap 11. Alonso and Sainz battled behind. A series of pit stops began around lap 11. Alonso experienced brake flames exiting the pits. Leclerc emerged ahead of Russell, Sainz, and Alonso after their respective stops. Piastri overtook Tsunoda and then Bearman. Norris, still on his first stint, was instructed to aim for clean air. Lap 25 order: Verstappen, Norris, Albon, Hadjar, Antonelli, Hamilton, Piastri, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, Bearman. Piastri overtook Hamilton for 6th. Norris pitted on lap 29, just before the VSC was deployed. Verstappen pitted under the VSC. Piastri rejoined 4th after his second stop. Lap 33 order: Verstappen, Norris, Albon, Piastri, Hadjar, Antonelli, Hamilton, Leclerc, Alonso, Stroll. Hamilton passed Antonelli and Hadjar to move into 5th. Leclerc overtook Hadjar for 6th. Gasly passed Colapinto after Alpine allowed a position swap. Alonso dropped to 11th. Antonelli's retirement brought out the full safety car. Verstappen and Norris pitted. Piastri stayed out. Albon rejoined 5th after another stop. Final restart order: Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Albon, Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Hadjar, Hülkenberg. Norris overtook Piastri on lap 58. Hamilton passed Russell, Leclerc, and Albon in the final laps. Albon retook 5th from Leclerc on the last lap. Piastri stated, "I just braked too early. It was a good move by Max, disappointing obviously, but I think we made a few wrong calls after that anyway. Not our best Sunday." Verstappen said, "The start itself wasn't particularly great, but I was still on the outside line, or basically the normal racing line, and I was like, well, I'm just going to try and send it round the outside. And it worked really well." Verstappen added, "That, of course, unleashed our pace because once we were in the lead, the car was good. I could look after my tires, and we had very good pace today. That VSC was quite handy to pit, and even then, even on the hard compound, I think our pace was very strong." Sunday's race marked the final event under Imola's current contract. No confirmation has been issued regarding its return in 2026. The circuit remains a popular venue among drivers. McLaren extended their Constructors' Championship lead to 132 points. Red Bull narrowed the gap. Mercedes endured a mixed weekend, with Russell finishing 7th and Antonelli retiring due to mechanical issues. Tsunoda finished 10th after starting from the pit lane. He recovered from a high-speed crash in qualifying to score points. Alonso finished outside the points again, equaling his longest pointless streak from the start of a season, previously set in 2015. Tire strategies varied across the grid. Several drivers extended their opening stints to reduce time lost in the pit lane. The long pit delta at Imola, approximately 28 seconds, influenced teams to attempt one-stop strategies. George Russell ran mediums in Q3 and secured 3rd. Norris qualified 4th but finished 2nd. Piastri's pole ended Verstappen's streak of starting from the front. Red Bull completed their 400th Grand Prix appearance. Verstappen delivered victory in the milestone race. The championship picture tightened following Imola. Piastri leads. Norris and Verstappen trail closely. The European leg of the season continues, with the next round scheduled at Monaco.